Hi, my name is Adriel William, and today's video is for all the individuals who got invite from NYU Dental School during this cycle in 2023. And in the past couple of days, especially yesterday, I had so many texts and individuals reaching out to me asking that NYU has changed their system. They are taking interview at through Kira talent assessment, and back in 2020 when I gave the interview, it was one-on-one through a faculty. Even last year, the candidates that I worked with had their interview through the faculty, but now all of a sudden they have changed to this recorded system through a software called Kira Talent Assessment, and a lot of people reach out to me, ask me questions. So I'm going to try to give you best of my assessment, what I've seen over the past years. And you might think, what gives me credibility to make any assumption or give you any opinion or idea. So just to let you know who I am and what I've been doing, I'm currently practicing general dentist in the United States, but prior to that, I graduated from Pakistan in 2013 from my BDS program. Then I started doing a fellowship under College of Physician and Surgeon Pakistan in the field of oral and maxillofacial surgery, but I moved to US in 2016 and started a master's in health administration in Maryland. Completed that in 2018. Then I worked for 2 years in a non-profit organization, and that's when I started applying to dental schools. And in 2020, I got invite from 5 schools, got accepted to Colorado, NYU, UCLA, and USC. And I graduated in last December from University of Colorado. But in the past 3 years, I've been making videos and regarding CAPIT cycle. I've been trying to assist candidates in their interviews and in their CAPIT application, and that's something I've been diligently doing in the past couple of years. And I'm going to share with you my experience back when I was preparing for NYU interview and how it went. And I actually have some videos that I'm going to put in the description, which will give you some idea from my experience back in the days. But now, since they are changing everything or a lot of things, and people have a lot of ambiguity and they have questions, so I'm going to share some of my opinion now. So I want you to understand, a lot of schools, not just NYU, is switching to this Kira talent assessment, or many schools are now taking help from Casper to filter out students. Why is this happening? Because dental schools, when they have to go through this admission process and have to take interviews, it takes a lot of time and effort and manpower to have them engaged taking these interviews. Most of the dental faculty, which are dentists and their time is very valuable, have to be engaged during weekends or during their clinic time, where they take one-on-one interviews. And this is, I would say, a large expenditure on schools. So what they are trying to do is to make their process more uniform. They outsource the interview process to these programs, to these softwares, to these companies like Kira Talent Assessment, to Casper. And what they do through these, if you don't know how they work, is that these are ways to record your interview. So in a Kira Talent Assessment, what would happen, you will log into the website or the portal, and it will tell you there are certain rules: be alone in the room, don't have any disturbance, make sure you keep your eye on the camera. And then they will show you a question. It could be, tell me about yourself, or tell us about a strength, tell us about a leadership skill. Or they could give you a scenario where somebody's cheating or somebody is causing a conflict in school, something like that. They will give you a scenario, then give you a minute to prepare your answer, and then they will say, no, you can record your answer after 1 minute. And you will be given a designated time to record your answer. It's not like you thought about a very long story or a very long answer about, tell me about yourself, and you're going to say all of it. Because you have to be very, I would say, careful about the time factor, that you're supposed to finish your answer between that 2 minutes. And from my own experience, when I was giving interviews, I gave Casper exam back in 2020, and also at that time I gave interview for USC, and USC had Kira talent assessment. So one of the things I tell people all the time, that during this kind of interview, make sure that your thoughts are already arranged. Before you start your answer, you should know where you're going to end it. Otherwise, you will keep speaking and the time will run out on you, or you will start getting confused. So be precise and already know where you're going to finish your answer. That's a very important factor that will help you. Other thing is, now people are asking what kind of questions NYU could ask. Well, 80% of dentist schools will ask you similar questions. They will ask you about your personality related question, about your strength, weakness, just as I mentioned earlier about stress management. They can talk about ethical scenarios, somebody cheating or somebody stealing. I have a bunch of videos that I posted on my YouTube channel. You can watch those. Then they can ask you why you want to come to NYU and why should we pick you as a candidate. Now, this is a very important question, and you should be prepared very well for these kind of questions, because this is what will differentiate you from the rest of the folks. Next, they could ask you, and I've talked about this in my earlier video, that NYU is a school that looks upon two things a lot: whether you have gotten any recognized education in the United States, if you've done any hygiene school, if you've done any master's program, or even went to the community college in the United States. This is something that they look forward. Second thing that they really look towards is, are you somebody who who have been living in New York, or somebody who can actually survive in New York? Because getting admission is one thing, but living and surviving in a city like New York, which is very costly, which has a lot of stress, is another important factor. So the school does look around these things, that whether this person has support system that he would be able to survive in NYU. The other things I can tell you about preparing for Kira talent assessment is that obviously there can be some questions which might be different. And it happened in the past. They can give you a scenario where two nurses are discussing the privacy of a patient in the elevator, and you just walked in and you hear these two nurses discussing something which was confidential. How would you engage in this situation, or how would you resolve? So they can give you a scenario, one or two. They can ask you, tell us about a personality from history that has inspired you, or somebody in your life who inspired you. So they can ask you something different in this kind of way as well. So you should be mentally prepared. And again, if you want to do preparation, there's a bunch of free content that I posted on my YouTube channel. I'm actually doing a group session on this coming Saturday. You can, if you want to join that, it's going to be on July 15th. You're more than welcome to sign up and register for that course. You can reach out to me. But even if you want to prepare by yourself, I would give you a couple of tips regarding this process. That when you're giving interview one-on-one with the individual, with the faculty, and you're speaking, you can actually see their expressions. You can evaluate or analyze the situation, whether you're saying something which is interesting or whether you're boring the hell out of them. So that's something you can analyze at that given time and change the topic or stop your conversation. But when you're giving your interview to a recorded or to a recording or to a camera, you don't know who the person going to be who's going to watch this. You don't know what they are looking for exactly, but I can tell you a couple of things that can help you. One of the most important thing they're going to look into is your way of communication, whether this person is confident and intelligent enough to communicate his message to the other person in a precise and proper manner. So that is one of the important things that will be seen. Second, how you interpret your thoughts. Thirdly, one of the most important factor will be whether you can communicate your thought within the given amount of time. So if you're given 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I would suggest take up to 75 or 80% of that time. Do not have such a small answer that you stop in between. Like after 1 minute, you stop. If you have 3 minutes, at least go above 2 and 2.5. So you can, but I'm not saying to drag your answer, have some good content, but don't make it too precise, but don't make it too lengthy that you run out of time. So you need to find a good balance of time somewhere in between. That's very important. Third thing I would say is don't be camera shy. Now, this is very important. I know people who are extroverts who love to be in front of the camera and post it on their Instagram, and they are not camera shy. And then there's people who are very intelligent, who are, I would say, highly deserving to be in dentist school, but they are introverts. They don't want to be in front of cameras and they don't like to speak in front of camera, which is quite a difficult situation for them. So for them, I would say turn on your cameras and practice with your friends or record yourself on a daily basis so you can actually break through that barrier. And I would say keep practicing, because one very important question. A lot of candidates reach out to me that NYU have sent to a large number of students invite. Are they inviting everybody? First of all, I don't know the exact number of invites they are sending, and whether they are sending invites to 800 or 8,000 or 80 people, it doesn't matter. If you got an invite, that means you have a chance. So I would just focus on your own self and prepare for your preparation rather than counting people, how many people got invite. What are you trying to do up there? Do a roll call up here, or just trying to create stress for yourself? I know there will be very few people, very few intelligent people who won't bother themselves with this kind of engagement. They will just focus on themselves and prepare for their interview, because the school can send it to 8,000 people. What are you going to tell them, that I'm not going to give interview because the rest of the 8,000 people are giving interview? No, you're going to give the interview, right? So better off if you channel your energy and just focus on your own preparation rather than counting how many people are getting invites. Because whenever things are changing or are in transition, a lot of things happen. And people who do perform good at this given time are people who focus on the right things. So this is my message, because I got a lot of messages regarding this, that they have changing, and my honest and sincere advice is focus on your preparation. And if you need more help, you can reach out to me. You can sign up for this course. But even otherwise, I wish you all the best. And there's a couple of videos I'm going to post in the description. You can watch them, take help. And I wish you all the best, and do like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, I'll see you in a more meaningful video. Thank you.